Hey guys, what's up? It's James here, pathofmastery.com. This is my day 2 on the fast. I started with my whole church. We're doing a 21-day fast for spiritual reasons, but I thought I would document my journey throughout these 21 days. Now, for so many days, I haven't quite decided how long I can go yet to go solely on water, and I've gone 2 days now just on water, but I think now it's time to incorporate the snake juice. If you know anything about snake juice, Cole Robertson is the guy who invented it. He has a massive Facebook group, a large YouTube channel, and he's a personal trainer. And he teaches people to fast, to drink his snake juice, which is an electrolyte mix. Just, I guess it helps more than anything with that really feeling of fatigue and headache that you get sometimes on extended fasts. When you're just chugging the water, because what that does is it can dilute your electrolytes. You end up urinating all the time. You pee out all your sodiums and potassium. And in the long run, if you're drinking too much water, especially if you went 21 days as a total water fast and you took too much water in, you could become hyponatremic, where your sodium's so low you could get cardiac arrhythmias. Your potassium could get out of whack, again causing cardiac issues. So, with fasting, guys, long term, you must consult your doctor. Understand that I'm a registered nurse as well as a pastor, and I'm not asking anyone to go on a 21-day fast, water only. What I encouraged my church to do was to take those things that really take up the most time in your life, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, whether it's a passion for Coca-Cola or chocolate or too much Netflix, or if it is an addiction to food, maybe it's pastas, maybe it's fast food, pizza. Take these 21 days and put that thing aside, okay? And then, in the meantime, set times of prayer in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and just to reflect, do some inner reflection, see what's going on in your life. Are there some things that you need to change, and just talk to God about it. And it's really my goal for this fast is that myself and my church would just develop a closer intimacy with God. But I thought, since I'm documenting this as well, because I showed you in my previous video the dermatitis herpatiformis, which is actually throughout my body, chest, back, legs, scalp, quite bad. It's not on the groin, but it is on the feet. And you remember I had a video from last year where I totally healed it within 10 days using the Wim Hof breathing method and cold therapy. But I'm going to incorporate the Wim Hof and cold therapy with this time of fasting. And I thought today I have some time. Let's mix up some snake juice according to Cole Robertson's recipe. I have a picture of him here. You probably can't see it. But what he has in his newest recipe for snake juice is 2 liters of water, which I have here. 8 cups is 2 liters. Okay. I have pink Himalayan salt. Now you can get the fine salt, or you can get the coarse. Excuse me one sec. I have the fine here, which I filled this up with, and in fact I'll use this to make the mix. You'll need potassium chloride, which is no salt, and you can get that at any Save On Foods or Overweighty or wherever you might live, your grocery store. And it's a salt substitute, and what it is, it's potassium. Okay, and it's 640 milligrams per quarter teaspoon, and he calls for 1 teaspoon, which is 2,560 milligrams of potassium. And then we're going to add sodium chloride, a half a teaspoon, which is the salt, right? And that's going to give us 840 milligrams of sodium. And then he calls for sodium bicarbonate. Now, I got the Arm & Hammer. It's not the greatest. There's some better kind of natural baking sodas out there, but this will do in a pinch. I just have to get out to the store and get the better stuff. And so what that is 1 teaspoon, and that gives you 1,080 milligrams of sodium. And then he calls for magnesium sulphate, and so you have to get food grade magnesium sulphate. You can't just use Epsom salts that you throw in your bath. You have to go to the grocery store, a bakery, and get the real magnesium sulphate. And when you add a half teaspoon of that, that's 200 milligrams of magnesium. It's probably going to make you poop, just to be honest with you, all right? Can be a bit of a laxative. I'm not going to add the magnesium because I just don't have it. I've made snake juice in the past, and I've never used the magnesium. Maybe that's something I'll incorporate in the future. But as I go, I figure 2 days of pretty much just water, hot water, a little bit of salt. What I do is sometimes I boil water and just put a few sprinkles of the pink salt in there, give it a bit of flavor, kind of trick my mind into thinking that I'm drinking like a broth of some sort, a noodle broth, and you know, it helps because to be honest, I do not like the taste of snake juice. It's terrible. You got to just pound it back. Cole Robertson does not want you adding any sort of flavoring to it. Because I guess what his theory is, which it could very well be true, even if it's a sugar-free, it could spike insulin in a way. It could also trigger some connections that we have to food and flavor that would maybe make us want to break a fast early, cause us to crave, you know, a cola or a juice or something like that. And the important thing here is to just take your drink of your snake juice while you're fasting. He recommends you start a fast for 48 hours, depending on your size. If you're quite large and your sugars are high, you might have to go 96 hours to get into ketosis. And once you're into ketosis, then you're fasted for the 48, 96 hours. Then maybe you do a refeed of one meal, a very high protein, high fat meal. And then you'll fast another 3 days. And depending on how big you are. Now this is if you want to lose massive weight. My goal of fasting is not to lose weight. I weighed myself the other night. You saw in my previous video I was 166 pounds. I weighed myself this morning. I'm already 164. So I will show you my weight again in the morning, but I will be dropping quite rapidly, I do assume. And so I don't want to lose too much weight, but this is a spiritual fast consecrated to the Lord as a pastor. And so I'm documenting partially my spiritual journey, but really those types of things should be kept private between myself and the Lord. But I will reveal some things to you as they begin to happen. But what I really want to document was the healing of the skin issue. And I think that's very important, that you see how a proper diet and exercise and the Wim Hof method and cold therapy can boost your immune system significantly, and it can change your life. And so if you're a little bit overweight and you drop 10 pounds, man, you feel better. If you drop 50 pounds, you feel like a new person. And for me, where maybe I lose 5, 10 pounds, I'll definitely feel more energy, I'll feel more rejuvenated, but what will happen is that this skin issue, which causes me to scratch and itch all the time, bleeding even, and it's quite horrendous. And it's my own fault for eating gluten over the Christmas break, and this is something I need to remedy. And so part of this channel will be me mastering my life, okay, mastering this body that God's given me as a temple of the Holy Spirit to become very fit, very healthy, 35 years old, and I want 2019 to be my healthiest year ever. As well, this channel will document a few other transformations, a financial transformation, as well as a personal transformation, to be someone that is disciplined, that does what he says he's going to do, who gets up early, who exercises, who eats right, and who spends quality time with his wife and kids. And I mean, once you have your family unit locked down, you can do anything. But enough rambling. Let's get into the snake juice mix, okay? So I got my 2 liters of water. I need my potassium chloride, and I need 1 tablespoon of potassium chloride. 1 tablespoon. There's the potassium chloride, all right? And then we're going to need half a teaspoon of the Himalayan pink salt, the sodium. Here's a half tablespoon. Sprinkle that in like Salt Bay. Really, Cole Robertson should be called Salt Bay. The guy eats more salt than anybody. And then we need our sodium bicarbonate, 1 tablespoon. All right. Now, if I had the magnesium, I would add the magnesium. Unfortunately, I don't have it. But since I'm into my fast, I want to get going on some snake juice. Now I'm just going to mix it up. Now the salt doesn't always dissolve the greatest. Sometimes you got to work it in. But you got 2 liters here. This is going to last you, should last you a day, most likely maybe even 2 days. But check out Cole Robertson's channel, Snake Diet. Now, guys, he has terrible language. He drops the F-bomb every second word. And I'm not going to speak like that. And I don't encourage anyone else to speak like that. But that's who he is. That's how he rolls. he has helped many people lose a significant amount of weight, and I thought I would just show you how I mix up snake juice for myself. And you know, you can check him out and you can be the judge and decide for yourself what you need to do to get healthy. Do you need to fast? Do you need to do Wim Hof breathing? Do you need to take cold showers? Do you need to go on a juice fast? Do you need to go on more increase on your red meat because your iron's low and you're not getting the protein and fat that you need? You know, you need to do some research. And what I suggest is you weigh yourself in the morning, every morning, keep a track of where you're at, and keep a journal and a diary of what you're eating, how long you're fasting, what you're putting in. And so, you know, you can determine what are some things that you know you need to cut out. Most likely bread needs to go, pasta needs to go, potatoes need to go, rice needs to go, the starchy foods if you're overweight. And this will save you so much time if you can cut out these foods and just move over to a meat and vegetable ketogenic diet. It'll change your life, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Let's pour a glass here of snake juice. Bon appetit. Sure, salty. So I suggest you pound it. All right, cheers, guys. If you like this video, think about subscribing, hit the little notification bell, and leave a thumbs up. And actually, if you want to comment, I love to engage with my followers in the comment. I really want to help you. That's my goal this year, is to help people master themselves. And hopefully I can demonstrate self-mastery at 35 years old, 2019. Cheers, y'all. Bye.